Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Gal.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
You amaze me at how quick you put that guitar down and switch right to the microphone.
You see?
You do, huh?
Yeah. What kind of guitar is that? Is it a Fender Stratocaster?
I don't know. I'll find out, though. I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Nick may join us. I did not hear anything from him, but the way he's been working.
Man on the move. Man on the move.
Yep, absolutely. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by VMix Software, dudeinit.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So, what is going on? Nothing. Okay, that was a good show.
My thoughts exactly.
No real big computer issues this week. It was
I know it was slow. It's fine.
I mean, I had my updates.
Wait,
had all my updates delayed.
Wait, what?
No big computer issue?
No, I had no.
Do you have any gas?
Issue. Well, yes. That's true. No big computer issues within the framework of my own personal home.
Did you see all those pictures that came out with people, how they fill up
garbage bags?
Huh?
Garbage bags?
Garbage bags. What do you call them? The plastic containers.
Totes.
No, for food.
Ziploc bags?
Oh, there was one that Hannah sent me. She said, this takes the award. And I'm sure it was just a staging kind of thing. But there was this woman, the car door was still open, and she had the gas going into a laundry basket. You know, the one that have
Holes.
all like it's not closed.
I saw a picture of a guy with basically a plastic tote on the ground, like a wash basin type thing with no lid. Where's he going to put it?
This is so ridiculous. And there was one guy that got. First of all, I don't understand the gas stations allowing this because it says that you cannot put gas in anything.
Containers.
Yeah. And this guy put it in his car and completely burned it down on the way home. And come on, Hannah called. We filled up her car. I think it was Monday. I don't know. Last week, last Saturday. Not yesterday, but the one before. And about Tuesday or Wednesday, she called and she said, Dad, will it be bad if I put some regular gas in it? And I said, well, as long as you don't do it on a regular basis. But what's the difference? I mean, you mean you can find regular but not premium? And she says, no, I mean, I'm just wondering because I'm not going to wait in a gas station for an hour if I need. I said, how much do you have? She said, a little bit below half. and I know that the gas pipe is the pipeline is already working, so it's probably gonna last me. But if it doesn't, I said, I'll tell you what she wanted to do is she wanted to take the 5-gallon tank container that she has for the generator and put it in the car. I said, do it now if you want to. So it will mix and it will not be just regular. It'll be kind of half, and this way you'll recycle it too. And she said, well, if I get to about a quarter tank, I'll do it. That's fine, you know. And then the next day, or I can't remember, Wednesday or Thursday, she said, I went to Costco. I had to wait 6 minutes.
Ooh.
And normally when I go to Costco, I have to wait longer than that. So I really don't understand people. This is just ridiculous. Either people, and I think it's because people are uninformed. They don't understand that something like this, it's not that there's a shortage.
It's not that they're uninformed. They're misled.
Well,
They hear shortage, right, without an explanation. Nobody listens to the facts. Come on.
Yeah, there was enough gas. It's just a way to get it here. And I don't follow that either. I don't understand, but I don't understand the system. What does the computer have to do other than how to charge the people and how much to send them and stuff like that?
Probably tracking. Tracking.
So to send gas through the pipeline probably would have worked, but they were afraid they were going to lose money. They were going to send
probably
too much.
It would be for free. Yeah, definitely. Come on.
The pipeline, I understand, is an entity, a building. That's Cheech and Chong stealing gas with a garbage can. Thank you, Alan. He remembered Cheech and Chong stealing it, and it was in the next movie. I actually have the video. I can run the video. This is the very beginning of the movie.
Don't do that. They'll flag us.
They'll stop us. No, I realize. Okay, I'll get rid of it now. But it's very funny.
I mean, come on, jeez. And now, and there it is. It's right away. It's over.
They took it out already.
What? There's gas. I mean, the gas is flowing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But you heard what Colonial did, and I don't know. I mean, as much as I don't agree with paying the ransom, I mean, they paid $5 million to get the stuff back. But there were articles that were saying that they figured out that it's going to cost them more to rebuild the system. So $5 million, and it was 75 Bitcoin. They're not going to rebuild the system because they paid the $5 million, but the system is vulnerable. No, they're going to fix the system, but in order to get it back and start working right away, it was they could have gotten 500 programmers to come in and get. I'm sure they had backup because they were talking about building it up. It would cost them more than to pay the ransom, so they chose to pay the ransom, which makes sense. Financially, it makes sense.
I'm guessing the CISO, right?
The what?
The CISO of the company.
Yeah.
The security officer.
Yeah.
Right? The cybersecurity officer. He's probably eating his hat, right? Because of some, I don't know, $20,000 a month subscription he didn't want to pay for a product that would have prevented the attack or something like that.
Does he still have a job?
Probably.
I don't know. They were talking about the fact that Colonial has been looking for a security officer for quite a few months. So, that by itself can give hackers, hey, they don't have one, so let's get in there. I don't. That's what they were saying. But by the same token, what happens afterwards is really interesting. Let's see if where did I save it? Yeah. A day after US President said the US plans to disrupt the hackers behind the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack, the operator of the dark side ransomware said the group lost control of its web servers and some of the funds it made from ransom payments. It says a few, that's
So
what,
the hackers were attacked.
yeah. He says, a few hours ago, we lost access to the public part of our infrastructure, namely blog, payment server, CDN servers. The operator said, and it was on recorded future threat intelligence analysis. Now these servers, what?
Is there a payment server just for black hats?
They actually, yeah, that's, what they do, and they were explaining it. Let me see. Let me finish this.
Okay.
Now these servers are unavailable via SSH, and the hosting panels are blocked, said the dark side operator, while also complaining that the web hosting provider refused to cooperate. In addition, the dark side operator also reported that cryptocurrency funds were also withdrawn from the gang's payment server, which was hosting ransom payments made by victims. I mean, it's a whole system. The funds which the dark side gang was supposed to split between itself and its affiliates. The threat actors who breach networks and deploy the ransom. So it's a team, were transferred to an unknown wallet.
Can I buy stock in that team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sudden development comes
Soon,
after U.S.
soon.
authorities announced their intentions to go after the gang. Nobody says that any authorities in the U.S. did it, but it just happened like that.
So was it revealed what exactly they locked? Was it an administrative thing? Was it the actual control
you see,
system?
I don't follow this. They encrypt everything, but they capture it. And the way that they get you is they say, look, if you don't pay, we take all the data and put it on the internet. And that's what apparently most companies are worried about. It's not the unlocking. Unlocking, you can always restore.
Because apparently they could not use the automated controls of the pipeline, or they lack the administrative tools to be able to, like, who's putting, it's a pipeline that multiple
It's the
people
management.
use.
It's the management of allocation, payment, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's not what got them to really pay it. It's also the threat that the data is going to be put out on the internet. Now, I don't know that I would trust these people not to put it anyway, or to put it somewhere where people can take advantage of it. But luckily, I don't have to worry about things like that. And we'll find out sooner or later what happened with that, and if it's something that the government, our government through some company actually managed to get them and shut them down, so to speak.
The real deal they got millions of dollars worth of gas cards. So they never have to pay for the rest of their life.
Unmarked gas cards.
That system where you walk up, it says you wave, not the new system, but they used to have this, you waved a card. It was a commercial system for the pumps. They got those for unlimited cards.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about this, and I'm saying, okay, well, Delta Force is too small a fish for anybody to go after because you're not going to get anything.
But you're very public.
But the thing is, I don't keep any credit cards online. So there's none of the accounting of the company is out there on the servers. And we have a few backups every night. So I'm thinking, well, if this happened, I'll just restore and we'll go and find out if there's anything. But what if? It's a what if that you have to think about. What if these bad actors actually break into the system and change something that takes, a key punch to encrypt it again, and they don't do it right away. They wait 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and then they do it. Then when you go to restore it from a few days ago, all they had to do is just press R. It's all encrypted. You have to think the worst. So it's a matter of doing backups that can take you back months.
So here's the thing about backups.
Yeah.
Backups are as good as your restore plan.
Right.
Exactly.
That's,
understand.
It's not about taking the backups. I have backups of my stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
But in order to restore to exactly the same state I was before, that's not something
I agree. That's a big,
and it's going to take time. Now, I guess, this is a guess because I don't know who's hosted on Delta Force, but I guess there is no critical mission,
right?
Millions of dollars in damages per day system hosted on any of your servers,
right?
Exactly. And that's why it's not such an interesting target.
Absolutely.
So even if you need to scrub everything, reinstall the system from scratch because you need to be sure, and then restore from backups, and that takes, 3 days, right?
Actually, we had to do it one time because something got corrupted. No, it takes a few hours. Really, literally.
Okay. So in your case,
it's not. Remember,
allows it.
Remember, we're not talking about terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of disk space either.
Yeah.
So, no, Ron got it down pat how to do this, and we talked about it many times and tweak it and talk about, okay, so how are you going to do this? You have to have like you said, you have to have the plan. Hopefully you'll never use it. But that's, yeah. But by the way,
for me, it's just data. I'm okay. I have enough other machines that if I lost my work machine, for example, I have other machines with the same software on it. I could just load it and go. So I'd be okay. But I do have images of stuff. I don't know. I hope they would work, but they may not. So,
Gal, how did you manage to do anything with that drive that went?
Haven't dealt with it yet.
Okay.
I put another drive in the system.
So at this point, do you feel like you're back where you were, or there are still things that you have to do?
Mostly, it's all really just, simple system customization that's gone.
All right. But that's good.
In terms of data, I was never too concerned. As I said, I have it all over the place. And it's been a long while since I've come to that hard drive looking for data that I couldn't find any elsewhere. So
Good.
I know I've offloaded most of this content from it into backups. I do need to bring that back because this is also a local copy of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my next task would be I have a server in an offsite location, a friend's house, where I need to make sure that I am on a schedule sending backups there. That will give me a peace of mind.
You need to automate it
because right now it's manual. It's I haven't automated it because I haven't set up a system. I haven't came up with an ordered plan. The plan is always about how to restore. And once I know how I restore, then I know how to back up. Because just copying data, I can do that endlessly. It doesn't help, right?
Right.
I need to know where the data is and how to get it back. And once I have a system for that, and I haven't had the time to just sit down and think about it. That's my next plan data-wise. There've been some more pressing issues, so this is on the back burner.
That's fine. At least you know that you have the backups here and there. So that's the main thing when you do stuff like this and you have priorities. Then you do what you have to do, and then you get into that. Yep, which is perfectly right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. I started talking about it last week, but my experience with Verizon.
Okay.
Oh yeah, with the phone.
With the phone.
Yeah.
So you don't know what I'm talking about, Gal? You know, but Hannah's iPhone 12 she wanted. So it didn't work and everything, and I called them and I asked them what's going to happen if we just cancel, and how long does it take to port the number to another company, and will there be any charges and stuff like that? So they said, no, there's not going to be any charges, and it depends on the company about the porting. So Tuesday, we went to the local Tmobile store here, and he started the process. Victor, a real nice kid, to move to T-Mobile. I can't say that it was smooth. We have a freeze on our credit reporting. Or credit, I mean, with Equifax and.
So you switch it on before.
So every time, I mean, it's been like this for a few years. Every time a company is asking me to see the credit report, they say, just unfreeze one of them. I mean, our system will pick it up, whichever it is. You don't have to do everything.
That's untrue. They always use one.
Well, so they said, if you do, and I always did, not Equifax, what's the other one?
Experian, TransUnion.
Experian. So I always did that. So before we went there, I went on Experian, or that morning, Tuesday morning, I went on Experian and I unfreezed it. Unfroze it. We got there. And so he's doing this and doing that. And he said, did you take the freeze off? I said, yeah. He said, we can't see it. I said, well, I did Experian. He said, oh, we need the other one too.
Equifax.
I said, which one? He said, Equifax. I said, okay. So now I don't have my PIN, my numbers, my passwords, whatever with me there. So he dials the number and I talk with the people and they ask me this question and that question and security questions, and they realize, yeah, they're talking to the right person. So they took it off. So he looked and said, yep, it's off. So we keep on going and he's porting the number, which took him about less than 10 minutes to port the number. I guess that's how it works there. And Verizon didn't want to tell me that it's easy. When it came to him passing it on to his higher ups on the phone to okay that whole thing, he said, yeah, we took the freeze. The customer took the freeze off. So he gives me his phone and I'm talking to this girl and she said, did you take it off of TransUnion? I said, no. She said, well, we'll need that one too.
Why?
I have no earthly idea.
I did a loan recently and I only had to do one. I just
I
had to tell
know.
them
I
which
mean,
one
it's
used.
always one. That's why
But I got a notice back from them saying that they did all three, tried to do all three, and two of them rejected. I said, because I told you they would reject.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Notice of adverse action is called.
I spent about 20 minutes on his phone talking to TransUnion. There was no way for them to verify that who I am, because the questions that they ask are not questions that you only would know the answers. But you have to be very involved in your credit reporting to know. In 2011, you opened the credit card with this amount of credit. Which one was it? Well, how do I know? Come on, what kind of question is that? And so anyway, they finally said, "Sir, we can't verify. You're gonna have to get the PIN." So I told him. I got in my car. I mean, luckily it's not far from home. It's right there at shopping center, about 5 minutes from the house. So I came home. I took my file. I looked at it. I got online, and I unfreezed it. Called them and told them. I called Hannah, who was at the store there, and I said, "Go ahead and tell them that it's done, and I'm coming." This was the hardest part, and part that I really don't understand why they had to do that. Just like you guys are saying, why? I said, what? Are you going to find information in one that is not in the other one?
Apparently, yes. John just said some companies like to view all three because they're not the same.
But they should be the same. Then the credit reporting is worthless.
Well,
it should be the same.
Well,
some of it's opinion.
I think they're looking for a discrepancy between them, and then that means something's wrong.
No.
Well,
right? They want to see it's the same.
Credit score is an opinion because they have different metrics that look at if you had a ding in the past, how long ago it is, they determine how much it affects your current status.
I understand.
How many good payments have you had since you had one bad?
But look, here we're talking about very small amount of dollars that they are giving me credit for from 1 month to the next, so I'll pay it. That's the reason for it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then when you think about, here, opened another credit card that has a $10,000 limit, and they just want one. Come on. You would think that credit card companies know that they don't need all three. So anyway,
they're already paying for it.
Yeah,
maybe that's a confidence issue they have in the three reporting companies. That they don't have confidence that they'll all be accurate. So I unfroze one because it was the one I could do without a PIN number, because I went online and I answered security questions online, and I was able to unfreeze it.
Yeah, I mean, I have at home. I have the file with all three when we did it, and what's the pin and all that, and it's easy if I wanted to do it from home. But you don't think about it because you're used to. Okay, yeah, only one. It's fine.
Equifax was never easy for some reason.
Yeah, they're the
they
ones.
seem to be kind of lagging way behind. Experian and TransUnion, it's easy to set up an account and a PIN and all that. Equifax, unless you subscribe, if you're not a subscriber,
No, I
It's
don't
hard.
pay. I don't pay anything.
I don't
have
pay
a phone
anything
app.
either.
I had
Just a
trouble.
switch, and that's
I have to call them because every time I go back to try to log in, I can't get in. So I log in successfully. I'm okay. Update my password, and then I go back and it says no record. So every time I have to call them.
I don't know. Equifax.
Well, it's all the breaches. They always reset the passwords probably.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Work.
that's right.
just enter the password and it goes in. Interesting.
No.
Yeah.
So
I've been dealing with Equifax for a long time, like 20 years.
Yeah.
And some of it seems to be like they'll make a little step forward in their technology. They're a little bit behind on the TransUnion was the easiest one to deal with.
TransUnion seems like it was. They actually the ones that were the hardest one to unfreeze. But
There's
it makes
another
you
one,
feel good.
There's a
It
fourth.
makes you feel
The fourth
good.
one, yeah. I don't remember the
That
name
one
of it. but
has
there is-
zero online presence.
And that's why a lot of the potential sellers, loaners, don't even know they exist. You
Yeah.
talk to like you go into a car dealership. It's like, what? Who? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and now since I did that, and of course you do it for 24 hours, so it goes back. Every day I get an email from them with what can I do with their service if I subscribe to this, and if you do, and
And you didn't check some box that says
I
don't send me.
no, all I did is
I do not have anything from them.
No, I just logged in. I mean, I went to the login and I looked at the paper, and this is the PIN number. I entered it, and what's your password? I always look for
Interesting.
those check boxes, and nothing. So, and you don't want to block them. So we'll see. But it was interesting. So anyway, we finished, and Hannah got her iPhone, and they gave her $530 credit toward her iPhone 7 that she turned in when Verizon said zero, that it doesn't have any market value. And the truth is, T-Mobile said the same thing. They said, it's not, I said, what do you do with this? So you turn around and sell it? Because Verizon does. Verizon has iPhone 7s, used ones, recertified for sale.
Recertified.
Well, but the guy at
doesn't mean
T-Mobile,
they have new batteries.
right, the batteries and all. So
No,
I
they
asked
don't-
him. He said we recycle them. So they give you it. They give you the credit just like as a, I don't know, courtesy or whatever.
It's because you moved from a different company. If you
Yeah,
would
I
have done
guess.
it within T-Mobile, you wouldn't get that credit probably. So
So
It's probably true. Yeah.
So it worked fine, and our phones are working fine, and we were on a 4 gig shared plan on Verizon, which we never went over because that past year it was all
So if you go
Wi-Fi.
outside your house at night and you have somebody on the phone, is there one of those big yellow beams coming down
No,
from the sky into your
I
house?
pink. You
From
mean
the commercial?
pink? You mean?
Yeah,
No.
the 5G coverage comes
No,
down in like a
but-
beam.
Okay, so here's the thing: our phone, even though it's a new phone that we just bought, the Motorola 7 Power, whatever, it's not 5G compatible, so we don't get 5G. Hannah's phone, the iPhone 12, is 5G. So she said that when we drove home, she said, "Yeah, it says 5G." But it's now we're on a 50 gig each line, and I'm saying might as well be unlimited because it's not. He said, "Well, unlimited is it will cost more." But I mean, geez, you live with just a few gigabytes for years, and suddenly you have this, and it still doesn't mean anything because you're not going to use it. So far,
Amnon is
I'm
gonna
happy
start,
with it. What?
start watching YouTube while he does his morning walks
Well, that may be if well,
at
no.
4K.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So to switch it was easy. Kathy had a problem with her voicemail, and she said, "Do I have to reset my voicemail to set it up again?" I said, "I really don't know. It seems like the voicemail doesn't reside on the phone. It resides on the
On the
server
service.
because you have to dial star 86 whatever." I said, "Well, maybe because that's good." And I took her phone, and they call it visual voicemail. I don't understand what that means, but it wasn't working, and I turned it off. And then because I figured let's turn it off and see what happens. And you couldn't see it, so I had to find out where I turned it off and turned it back on, and then it was working. So that was easy. When I brought mine up, because I never set up voicemail on my phone, it says, "Well, set up your voicemail." On hers, it says having a problem with visual, and I called her and left the message, and she
Hold on,
saw it, but she couldn't play it.
I think visual is on the phone. Visual is downloaded.
Well, still
Messaging.
you still had to do the star 86, which tells me that you're going to a server and you
Yeah.
authenticating. I don't know, but anyway, everything is fine. That was the only thing, other than the fact that the phone says T-Mobile instead of Verizon. Now, yesterday, I got an email from Verizon. Your bill is ready, $400 and some. I said, "What? For what?" First, no, I got the notice about that they deducted our last month's bill, which is fine. I have no problem with that. And I decided I'm going to go in and I'm going to close that. I'm going to cancel auto pay and paperless and all that, so they will not be able to charge anything because I don't want to have to fight with them afterwards. And then yesterday I get a 434, and I'm looking through I follow the direction how to log in because you're no longer a customer. So it said, and it says that it's early. What do they call it? Early cancellation, or and there was no.
I thought there's no contract.
I know exactly. So I'm saying, what the hell is this? So I'm going to call them Monday, but I mean, there's no way that I'm going to pay.
How long since you've upgraded a phone through them?
Oh, never. I don't think I ever.
Because
I always bought used
the only
phones.
legitimate fee that they can have is if you're paying for your phone through your bills. Other than that.
Now, Hannah got the iPhone 7 from them when it came out. So that's been years.
That's years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we paid it, and we saw that the bill went down. But
don't be surprised by the fact that Verizon's internal back office systems
is messed up.
Are crap.
Yeah, I understand.
And they do not have. They'll go into what, depending on who you talk to, will be something new. So, but when I had to deal with the whole disruption we had, and the billing and all that, it took 2 visits to the store and a phone call before we finally got it straightened out. And then it took a couple of months for it to show up right on our bill.
Dang.
Yeah, and we tried to cancel Disney Plus 3 or 4 times online. Couldn't do it. Finally did it to somebody in the store. Still didn't take. Had to call somebody. Finally got them to take it off, and then it didn't show up on the bill until later. It was just, it's supposed to be easy to go in and remove an add-on, they call it. And you go in, log in, add-ons, go in, subscribe, click, cancel. Have records, screen captures of me doing it twice, and it didn't take.
Wow. Well, I already figured there's no way that I'm going to pay that bill, and they cannot take it, as far as I know. I need to call the bank and tell them if they can block that. There's no more uh, drafting from Verizon. And if they insist on this, I'm just going to say, yeah, you can go ahead and send it to collection. I'm really worried about my credit at this point in my life. But it's really,
Why, you're gonna take a mortgage?
that's what I was saying. I'm being sarcastic.
He's taken out a line of credit in
Yeah.
case he gets hacked,
Right.
so he can pay him.
It's just ridiculous. And I'm hoping that just say, oh no, this was a mistake. So yeah, so we're with T-Mobile and everything is fine. And then the first thing Hannah
So-
does is sending Kathy a text message, voice, and she looks like a cat. It's a cat talking. And she said, "You see what I can do with my phone now?" I said, "Oh, great. That's what you needed that, huh? That's what you needed it for. So you can do all these things, like going, oh, I'm an emu." So it's but she's happy with that, and she's looking into Gal. And here's something that came up, and I told her, well, you need to talk to Gal. She has a wireless charger
Mm.
that she had that she never used. She said when she uses that, the phone gets real hot. But
Yeah.
when she uses, and it's 2 or something, I don't know how many amps, but if she uses, oh no, this is not got nothing to do with the wireless. That's right. If she got a she has her old iPhone 7 Cube that she said when she charges through that,
Yeah.
the phone doesn't get hot at all. But if she uses the one that came with the phone
Mm.
and the cable, the phone
Mhm.
gets hot.
Well, I would blame Apple for that, but
Yeah.
basically it's because the new charger charges the phone much faster.
Faster. That's what she said. She said,
But it has very bad thermal controls
okay.
on the phone. I use OnePlus, right?
Yeah.
A Chinese Android phone.
Right.
I never buy them for more than $400-$500. I try to get below the $500 mark, and they have they're using something called, it was called Dash, then it's called Warp. They sell these. They have a subsidiary that sell cheap versions of these phones, even cheaper than 400, like around 200, 300. In the UK, there it's called VOOC. The reason I'm saying all of that is that you can search them then in Amazon and find those chargers. And it's different than the QI and the fast charging technology that Apple uses and Samsung uses.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing about it is that the thermal control, all of the heat is actually centered on the charger itself and not the phone. I don't know how they do it, but it's awesome, because in less than 30 minutes I get a full charge, or almost a full charge, right? And I can pick up, and the slab isn't like burning hot. So it's just about the technology of the charging.
Well, that's what I was telling her right off the bat. I said, sounds like the charger that you're using does not have good controls on it. And she said, that's
It's
the one
phone
that came
doesn't
with.
have good thermal control.
That's
but
the,
yeah.
and she's saying that's the one that came with the phone.
Yeah. That's why I say I blame Apple, because it's like they designed something, but it's always the case with them. They work they refine the design on the perceivable, right? On the stuff that you can show, on the stuff that you can, anything that you don't see, it's like a second thought. It's an afterthought.
Well,
I don't know. Do you
do
remember
have-
iPhone 4 or 3 or something? Like it didn't have reception.
Oh, I
Mhm.
remember
Oh
that.
yeah, with
Like,
the
the
right,
antenna.
it's
The
like,
antenna
come
issue.
on.
It's like they forgot to put an
So-
antenna in it.
Right.
Yeah, it's so.
You had to hold it with your tongue sticking out from the left side.
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
remember when they
Or the first one with the audio jack being so sunken in and not a standard one, right? Stuff like that. It's like,
remember you had to
That's-
buy
that's
the little antenna booster thing that you used to put on the back of the phone? It was a little like a little
Yeah.
copper maps, like an integrated circuit board that you put on there to increase the antenna strength.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
one.
So that's
I still have my
that's my gripe
7,
with them.
7, which is a refurbished Apple refurb phone because my battery swelled up in my original one. And they replaced my phone for $49 a battery charge to actually give me a new phone, well, refurb phone.
Yeah.
The problem I'm having now is my battery seems to drain rather quickly
Oh boy.
and it gets hot. Sometimes when I'm using it, it gets very hot. And it's like I'm not only doing one thing. It's not like I'm multitasking and having all this stuff going on. But I went to, I made an appointment to have it checked out. And it says my battery is operating at 91% efficiency. But you can look at the graph. They do have a battery app. You can look at the graph and you see how when I start to use it, it drops off very quickly. And I could just be on the phone talking, not streaming. But they said they will not replace my battery until it drops below 71% efficiency. Other than that,
How long does
it's
the battery
considered to be-
last? Normally, normal.
If I full charge in the morning when I leave, if I use it a couple of times during the morning, I'm down to like 60% by 2:00 in the afternoon.
Huh.
And then if I don't, when I get home, if I continue to use it, which I typically don't, by the time I go to bed and I plug it in, it sounds like 35. Sometimes I'll go below 20. I'll get the alert low power mode.
Yeah,
It wasn't this way. I mean, 9% difference in efficiency shouldn't be making it perform 50%
no,
worse.
absolutely.
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It still works okay.
On the 12th, I was reading when I was talking with Verizon, trying to see if there's but the battery, I think, says 23 days of standby and like 2 days if you use it. I mean, it was a long, long time. And then you read, and yeah, they put a much bigger battery. Like our phone, I have to charge it every 3-4 days.
Like a car battery?
The Motorola. But apparently a lot of the manufacturers are, because people are complaining that they go for the one that we have is 5,000 milliamp battery, milliamp hour. And the one in the iPhone is 4.8. I mean, it's about the same.
I'm tempted to try to change the battery on my phone. I did it on my 5S successfully. I bought an aftermarket battery, really nice kit. I saved the kit because the kit can work with any iPhone, but it was very easy to do. I was surprised at how easy it was. And the battery time on that, I only use it I don't use it as a phone anymore, obviously, just as a tiny tablet. And I use it for streaming and things like that. Sometimes I'll unplug it. I'll get 2 days out of it, 3 days out of it. And much, much better than the old battery. But I'm afraid to take my only phone I have working right now and try to replace the battery.
Yeah. I don't know why they took away the ability to just replace plug-in battery, like just put it in. All the phones.
Probably a whole case redesign and all this other stuff.
I mean, this is that Motorola is the first phone that I can't just have extra batteries, and when even if it goes down and you want to go back out and you don't have, I mean, all the phones that we have up to now, I had extra batteries that were charged, and if I ran out and I need, or if it was down and I need to go somewhere, I would just take that battery out, put another battery in, and it's a full battery. So now it's, of course, with the long lasting that long, it's fine. Anyway, are you ready for specials? And by the way, Eleanor, I was reading your post. They already charged. It's not ahead. It's, I think they charged for last month usage and everything. And on Friday, I got a thank you for your payment. And then, actually, yeah, last Friday. And then yesterday, I got the one about the extra, and it says that it's for early termination. That's what it said. And it was a different price for either. So, but I'll know tomorrow.
Yeah, I was about to say, in Hebrew there's a phrase shitat matzliach. It means
Really?
I succeeded method.
Yeah.
And it means they try and maybe
Oh.
they succeeded.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Well, if you call, then they didn't succeed.
Yeah.
They didn't succeed. It was a failure. It's like,
So it's
Shitat Matzliach.
the lowering of expectations. in other words?
It's a fishing expedition.
yeah, a fishing expedition. Exactly. Maybe it'll work.
Maybe it'll work. All right, Spence, you ready for specials?
I am ready. And is everybody ready for inflation? It's the different studies depend on what study you look at as far as what metrics are measured, but they're thinking inflation now is around 4.5%. Consumer Price Protection or Consumer Price Board is saying 4.5. Depends on whether you include energy or don't include energy, and plus the gas prices spiking in the last week.
Oh, well.
Did you see? I don't remember what state it was, but they are prosecuting now gouging. Some people were paying $4 and $5 a gallon for gas.
Well, I mean, they're investigating it in North Carolina too.
Yes, they are. I don't know that it's how widespread it was here, but yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I didn't know that there was a shortage or anything like this because I don't watch the news. But when I was going to T-Mobile, I'm looking to the left and there's a Sheetz. And people were lined up it was out on the street. And I said, what's going on? So I thought, well, maybe there's a good price. So right there, they have the billboard. And it said $2.49.
Really? You sure that's not they have another grade of fuel?
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
for the
15% ethanol?
Yeah, that's no,
Yeah.
that was for the 88, which is high percent of ethanol. So I said, oh, yeah, I guess it's a good price. And the next morning, I can't remember where I was going, and I passed by there, and it was $2.99. And I was saying, wow, it went up that much? And that's when I realized, oh, they're talking about shortage and stuff like that. Oh,
That morning, I was pressure washing a small driveway to get ready to paint it.
Yeah.
And I went by, I needed to get gas. So I brought my 2.5 gallon jug and I pull into the Amoco station on the corner, and the people acting nuts. There's no line yet, but people were you could see people were stalking spots and backing in to get gas and doing things you don't see normally. So I pull my truck off to the side, and I normally go to the ethanol free pump.
Yeah.
I have one there, which I use for the motorcycles and for my small engines. And somebody was filling the gas there. I said, that's weird. Why would they be filling there? Because that's like 60 cents a gallon more. Why would they do that? Then I saw a pump open where the people had backed in and there was no room for somebody to get in the middle. So I went to that pump and I filled up my jug. And then I realized what was going on, that there was a shortage. And then the kids all told me how they were in long lines to get gas.
Anyway.
Anyway. All right. So inflation. By the time you can finally make ends meet, they move the ends. All right. So to beat inflation, we're offering now a time machine Charters Incorporated. So if you want to set a time, go back to do your shopping in the past and bring your products forward. Well, actually, what you do is you go in the past, you buy the products, you hide them somewhere,
And then
in
you
the
go.
past that you'll be able to find them in the future, right? Isn't that the way they always fix stuff in a time machine movie? When they get into and like in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they're getting something's going on. And they say, well, if only we had this bat in the closet here. Well, let's go back in time and put the bat there. So when we have this happen, let's remember that. And then, oh, here's the bat. Just what we need. So you can go, if you go to CompUSA, I was just interested today. What happened to CompUSA? So I went to their webpage. This is their webpage today.
You're kidding.
You can buy it. You can't buy it. This is old. It's in, they haven't updated it in years, but it's still,
still up there.
Yes. You can, a HP Compact, which we're not using the compact name anymore, right? That's gone.
Right.
AMD Turion X2 dual core, 2 gig of memory, and Windows XP Pro.
And look at the hard drive. Wow.
Yes. Yes. Amazing.
250 gig.
Yep. A bargain. So that's kind of interesting. They don't, not all their pages actually have anything on it, but the basic layout of the store is the same. It's just up there. So they haven't, I guess they're still paying for web hosting. I don't know why. This is for you, Gal. They have the Sabrent USB 2.0 HD TV tuner with remote antenna. Hot item. $38. All right. Computer Chicken Out specials for May 16th, 2021. Wow. Can't believe it. All right. Starting with Staples. They've got a couple of deals on Rokus. They've got the Roku Express for $24.99, which is 5 off. And they've got the Roku Ultra HDR 4K for $69, which is $30 off. Got an Altec Lansing Comfort Q automatic active noise reduction Bluetooth wireless headphones for $49, which is $30 off the regular price. Got a APC 650 VA battery backup for $64.99, which is $12 off the regular price. Now, that is a good price. But if you are a Costco member, Costco has one of these APCs that they always have in stock. They just keep restocking it. They sometimes have other ones, but it's this or better, and its normal price is $44. So a good place to go buy it. All right, they're going to Asus laptop, which is a Intel Core i3 for $379, 70 off. They got a Lenovo IdeaPad 3 laptop with a Core i5 for $519, which is $130 off. Acer 27-inch HD monitor for $139, which is $20 off. Got an HD Slim Core i3 desktop for $419.99, which is $60 off. Seagate Backup Plus 4 terabyte desktop USB 3 drive is $99. And interestingly enough, the Seagate One Touch 4 terabyte portable USB 3 drive is also $99. Both of them are $15 off. So that price synchronized. I thought usually the desktops were cheaper than the portables, but
and to explain to those of you that don't know the difference, an external is not to be schlepped back and forth in your computer case. It's to stay up on the desktop and use it externally. The portable is one that you can take with you.
yes, the one has a 3.5-inch drive,
right,
and the other has a 2.5-inch drive, which is designed for laptop use, so it's designed for being portable.
Yeah, and
Well, the
Hannah
main difference would
made
be
me
that the 2.5-inch one will not need an additional power other than the USB.
True. Yeah, the other
That
the
would be
3.5
the
will.
main difference. Not only the form factor, but also the power.
Yep.
So
and
It
Hannah
can't be
made me
powered off
aware that now, and I looked, sure enough, there are a lot of these both things that are SSDs now, and that actually says a lot about getting an SSD external to hook it to a computer, because she was looking for a drive for her Surface that she could actually take with her, and I got her a portable, and we were talking about don't put programs on it because it'll be slow. But if you have an SSD portable on USB 3, I think it's almost to the point where you can actually install programs on it and use
Not
them.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Anyway,
I see the difference when I use a 3 flash drive when I'm copying stuff. It's like 4 times faster than USB 2. So, approximately.
yeah, they need
So,
to come up with a flash drive that's like a terabyte. That can
yeah,
be
well, that
fast.
There is. It's just expensive.
that's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, but is it as expensive as not being able to upgrade a drive in a computer that only has a 256?
Well,
No,
still,
100
you don't want something sticking out of the computer. For
Yeah,
something
no,
like that, like
so that's what I
permanent.
was saying. They need to come up with something that, like those little dongles that you really don't see. That you plug them in there, and I'm sure today they can do it. Not the long thing that sticks out, but one that out of the way kind. Anyway, keep going, Spencer.
All right. We talk a lot about upgrading routers, wireless routers to the latest technology. How do you bring your older technology up to speed to work with that? This is an inexpensive way to do it. This is the Linksys. It says 867 megabytes. It's an AC, 802.11 AC USB adapter. So if you have an AC system, or even if you have an AX, it can take advantage. It is a dual radio, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radio adapter, USB adapter that you can get to upgrade any machine that's got a USB 3 port on. Notice
And
the blue,
that doesn't have wireless,
it does not
or
have
that
wireless.
has old. Well, that doesn't go together. If you have USB 3, then you have
Yeah, that's going to help you with the speed.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
achieve the maximum speed with the USB 2
Yeah.
port,
Yeah.
but you can still use it. So this is $39. This is 10 off, which is really good price. You can. The only other alternative would be for a desktop where you can actually put a card in there. That's an AC card with an external antenna, but this will work in both cases, and you can move it around. It's much easier. That said, we have a TP-Link Archer AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 dual band router. Now, the difference in price you'll see is that the AX dual bands are cheaper than the AX triple band ones. The triple band ones, again, need to have a appropriate adapter in your device to take advantage of the third band. But the things that are built into the AC and AX standards greatly improve your automatic channel assignment, the rejection of interference, the crowded networks and all that are greatly helped by using these standards. So this is great. $109, $30 off. So if you want to get into AX, here's a great inexpensive way to get into it, as long as you have the AX available on your adapters on your devices. Okay, Canon image class monochrome laser printer. This is not it does not have a document feeder, but I believe it has a scanner built in. So this is a printer scanner. Don't know if it's a fax machine, but the point is it's $149. It's $80 off the regular price. So if you need a high duty cycle, monochrome laser printer, business, home use, that's going to be a little bit more than casual use. This is a great machine. It's $80 off. And we have still no sale prices on Brother printers, but this is not a bad deal. This is the Brother HL L2395 duplex wireless monochrome laser printer with a scanner, with a fax machine. This is $169. That's the non-sale price. We also got an Apple SE Bluetooth Space Gray watch for $249, which is $30 off the regular price. And finally, Amnon, this is for you to upgrade your chair. Raynor Meshback Fabric Task Chair for $129, which is $120 off the regular price. How many can I get you? 3, 4?
Yeah.
You
The
got
only
to replace
problem-
all the chairs in the studio, right?
Yeah. The only problem is, how high does it go?
How high do you want it to go?
I mean, I want it to go high that just the tip of your
Toes
feet
touch the floor?
touches the floor, and most of them are not.
No, those are lab chairs. What you're talking about?
No,
Yes,
no,
lab
I'm not
chair.
talking about the real tall ones. But this is, I mean, the lap chairs, like in the studio, you can't touch the floor. But
Yeah.
some of the office chairs, this is an office chair. There
Go pretty
are
high.
there are some of them that are like 3 inches higher than others. Makes all the difference. I don't like to sit and feet.
I don't have that problem with having to worry about my feet touching the floor in most
Ah.
cases. But I do have some lab chairs, and they put that extra ring at the bottom so you can rest your feet on something.
Just like this one.
Okay, so this is it for staples. Moving on to Office Depot Office Max. We have an HP 15.6-inch Ryzen 7 for $569, which is I'm sorry, I got to get close to the screen. It looks like $110 off. We have a Lenovo IdeaPad 3 Core i5 for $459, which is $180 off. 130.
Yeah.
Got an Asus VivoBook 15, which is a 15.6-inch AMD Ryzen 3 for $379, which is $100 off. And we have a Dell 3880 desktop PC Core i5 for $549, save $110. Okay, Canon Image Class D570 wireless monochrome printer 149. I believe this is the same one that we saw in the other ad. All-in-one printer. If you want color laser, this isn't a bad price. Canon Image Class wireless color laser printer, $249, which is $30 off the regular price. So the regular price of these have come down significantly. Not going to find it. What did we pay for our Dell one, Amnon?
It was below.
70,
It was
$79?
Yeah, it was 80 some. But I'm wondering what the supplies for this printer are.
Yeah, of course you got to check.
Yeah.
But this Canon is one of the leaders in color laser. And who made the Dell one? Was it Canon?
No, so
Lenovo?
no. What's the other one? The long word. The one that always made.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
The only word that comes to mind is Luxembourg, but it's not.
Oh, Lexmark?
Lexmark. That's it.
Okay, Lexmark. Okay, and we have a 5-pack of 16 gig USB 2.0 flash drive for $22.99, which is $22 off. And not finally, we're still going here. I got a Samsung 500 gig internal solid state drive, $64.99. Not the best price for a sale, but I think I got one for $57 at Best Buy recently, a 500 gig. And it was a Samsung. It was a good drive. Sometimes you run into, especially if you work on other people's machines, you run into issues with having the power pack. So you'd not give you the right one or give you one at all. But Targus has a universal Ultrabook laptop charger, which I wasn't aware of. And I can see it has the Lenovo connector on it as well as others. So this is a handy thing to have. It's $54.99. It was $14 off. And Amnon, this is what I suggest now. You convert the studio into all of these workstations where you've got wall-mounted. It holds the CPU on the top, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, a small desktop. It's got one arm for the display and one arm for the keyboard.
Yeah,
How many can I get you?
All I have to do is take out the disk from the middle of the room and
Got
put
it
a big
down to the studs.
big post in the
One
middle.
big post in
and
the
put
middle.
Four, and put 4 of these on each side of the post. Mount one of these.
That'd be great. And you could mount the cameras up high so that it's pointing down on the person. And I think that's the look you want. So it's an Ergoron LX sit-stand wall bracket with CPU holder, monitor holder, and keyboard holder. And the monitor and keyboard are on articulating arms, so you can
look at the price on that.
Well, it's only $1,000.
Yeah, looks like the top part that goes on the wall is missing the basket.
The basket?
Yeah, basketball.
Oh yeah, you could just stick it up the office basketball, a little sticky thing you put on the side of the bracket that holds the CPU. So it's $80 off. Under certain circumstances, this will be a doctor's office. This would be great. We wouldn't have. So you see a lot of doctors' offices that have all-in-ones simply because of the form factor issues, or form factor, having that value of not having all that stuff, all the wires and things. So that's at CompUSA, not CompUSA, Office Depot. Don't try to find it at CompUSA because you won't. Finally, we were at Best Buy, which I didn't add the description at the top. I started to get a little punchy. I was up pretty early. Got an Asus 11-inch Chromebook for $189. That's 30 off. A Lenovo IdeaPad Core i3 for $449. Lenovo Yoga 13.3-inch touchscreen laptop with a Ryzen 5 for $629. That's 100 off. And we've got a Lenovo Yoga Ryzen 7 for $829, which is $100 off. We've got an HP desktop Ryzen 3 for $399, 60 off. Got an HP desktop Ryzen 5 for $599, 50 off. This must be Ryzen AMD day, because sometimes there'll be nothing from AMD and it's all Intel, and now today it seems like it's all Ryzen stuff mainly.
Well, it's taking over, kind of.
Well,
they're much better at this point.
Oh,
for now.
For now, yeah, until the next wave.
Right.
Yeah. Got a Dell 27-inch FreeSync monitor for $129, which is $110 off. We've got a SanDisk 1 terabyte internal drive for $109. That's 30 off. Got a 128 gig USB 3 flash drive. It's a PNY Elite for $17.99. That's 17 off. The price even of the regular $34.99 for the regular prices is not bad considering what they used to be. Got a good deal on the TP-Link Casa Smart Plug for $12.99, which is 5 off. And finally, an Arlo wired doorbell camera for $129, which is 20 off. If you're into the Arlo system, it makes sense to add another Arlo to the system, although there are cheaper alternatives out there for doorbell cameras. Some of them very good in the $75 range or even less, depending on the company. Known names, not just weirdo stuff. But that's it for Best Buy, and that's it for our Computers 2K Now specials for the 16th of May.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting.
So I'm going to go out and fill up a couple of garbage cans with gas. Bring them back and set them outside in the yard just to have a supply.
Make sure you get garbage bags in them.
That's right. Put the garbage bag in first. The trailer it's not a trailer, but it was the opening 5 minutes of that movie. The preaching shot. They literally carry a garbage can over to a parking lot and siphon gas out of cars. And they carry it back to their car parked on the street. And they take remember the old milk cartons? Well, they still make them out of cardboard. They tear that and make it into a funnel. And they're pouring the gas through the cardboard funnel into the car, and it's splashing all over everything, all over their clothes. And they get in and they drive away. Oh, well. Some things are timeless.
Yes, sir. Let's see what happened during the specials there.
So CompUSA is still here for business, apparently. That's what Tiger Direct tried to do. They tried to reinvent themselves as a business only when they closed their stores. And check that out.
Oh. All right. Let's see what else. Facebook was ordered to stop collecting German users' data from its WhatsApp unit after a regulator in the nation said the company's attempt to make users agree to the practice in its updated term isn't legal. Facebook is probably gonna hate that. But
What's that? I missed.
they were told to stop collecting German users' data from WhatsApp.
Interesting.
Oh.
Define data.
Well, I don't know what I mean. This is a regulator in the nation. They said that the practice in its updated terms is not legal. Whatever they're saying that they're going to do, they said that attempt to make users agree to the practice in its updated terms isn't legal. So,
Well, that's probably true. What we talked about last week, right?
Yeah.
They're changing the rules for existing users, and there's no option of saying I don't wanna.
right.
So, but here's the thing. So, I don't buy what the court is saying because it's a free service.
Yeah, but
So,
apparently there's
yeah, and I don't know. So stop the service and say we're opening a new service if you want to.
Sure.
Right? Click this button and you'll be registered to the new service, and that will bypass the regulator here. Yes, they'll lose a lot of customers, that's true, but that'll bypass the regulator.
right.
I don't know. I find like in this case I'm not with the regulator on this.
Arnie's saying, I see the Computer Sticking Out Twitter account is very active. Not, yeah, I have not logged into it in ages.
What's Twitter?
What's Twitter? Exactly. I have not. I mean, the same thing with the Nissan Communications. I don't use Twitter anymore. I
The
gab.
only time I'm on Twitter, I never post anything anymore, but the only time I'm there is when I look at a post somewhere else that references a post on Twitter that I might go look at a picture or somebody's trying to post. That's it.
I got another email from Twitter yesterday. It says, we miss you. Oh, well.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they say that if you don't use it for so long that they're going to cancel the account or remove it? Do it already.
I think what they did is they tell you that they can do it. So in case they decide to delete it, right? It's part of the user agreement and all that. I don't think they actively go and remove stale accounts that quickly.
Yeah. So here's something that gamers need to be aware of. Computer hardware maker MSI is warning gamers not to visit a website that's impersonating the brand and its graphics card overclocking software Afterburner. What?
I'm saying wow.
Yeah. To push malware. They're using that fake site to push malware. On Thursday, MSI published a press release warning of a malicious software being disguised as the official MSI Afterburner. The malicious software is being unlawfully hosted on a suspicious website impersonating as MSI's official website with the domain name https://afterburner MSI .space. The company wrote, MSI has no relations with the website or the aforementioned domain. This webpage is hosting software which may contain virus, Trojan, keylogger, or other type of malicious programs that have been disguised to look like MSI Afterburner. Do not download any software from this website, they say. So, yeah, gamers always like to overclock whatever they can, and it makes sense. But if you have an MSI system and you're trying
not only that, gamers will usually have good hardware, so hijacking their system makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They can really take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you're getting
It's definitely an ouch situation.
if you're looking for Afterburner, then make sure you are on the MSI site. And that's the other thing. And I keep mentioning it to people, and I figured I mentioned it here too. It is, if you're trying to go to Home Depot's site, don't type Home Depot in Google. And when I say in Google, I don't mean in Chrome. I mean in a search field. Go to homedepot.com. You know some of those sites that you go to, and you know what their actual domain name is. If you know the domain name, just type it in the address bar. And don't type Home Depot in the address bar by itself, because that means you're trying to search for Home Depot or any other company. If you type Intel, then it's going to give you a list. And we've seen situation where the first listing was actually a fake site. So type the complete, you don't have to type the HTTPS and all that, but type intel.com, and that will take you to Intel, because you don't want to get bitten. And it's very easy. I mean, these guys are getting so good that it's unbelievable. You think, oh yeah, this is it. That's the place. And it's not. And whenever you do type something in a search field because you don't know the website, hover over the link that they show you where they're going to take you, and make sure that there's nothing funny about it. Just saying, because you can really get bitten big time. And people are getting bitten and are, losing money, losing privacy. It's not funny. Not funny at all. And everybody, I think, is using or used VLC, which is a media player. Videoland has released VLC Media Player 3.0.14 to fix an issue affecting Windows users and the widely used software Auto Updater not to launch the new version's installer automatically. VLC users on Windows might encounter issues when trying to auto update VLC from version 3.012 and 13. And the Videoline explains that we are publishing version 3.014 to address this problem. For future updates, this issue is caused by a bug introducing the automatic updater code of VLC 3.012 and fixed with the release of 14. Because of this bug, VLC updates are downloaded to the user's computers verified for integrity, but will not be installed as the auto update fails to launch the 14 installer. So if your VLC is 3.0.13 and earlier, you need to go and download the 3.014 to fix problems with it. VLC is a great program.
It is, because it's a It doesn't take up a lot of overhead.
Yep.
And
And it
it's
plays everything.
It's pretty good with most file types. It's
Yep.
the one that I always would load when I had trouble with codecs.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything that I came across that he will not play.
Oh, but no,
Audio or
Windows does
video.
everything now, so there's no problem.
Yeah. Oh, it does?
No, it doesn't. It's pretty good. There's sometimes you'll get a file type it doesn't know what to do with. So
Yeah.
go to the App Store to find something that'll help you.
I never gave it a chance.
You
I
what?
always, I don't trust the built-in player for anything.
Oh.
So
Yeah. I changed all my defaults, so it doesn't even open them anymore.
We've been talking about Starlink off and on. SpaceX has received more than 500,000 pre-orders for its Starlink satellite internet service and anticipates no technical problems meeting the demand. That's what Elon Musk said on last Tuesday. Only limitation is high density of users in urban areas, Musk tweeted, responding to a post from a CNBC reporter that said that the $99 deposit SpaceX took for the service were fully refundable and did not guarantee service. SpaceX has not set a date for Starlink service launch, but commercial service would not likely be offered in 2020. This is back then as it had previously planned. The company plans to eventually deploy 12,000 satellites in total and has said the Starlink constellation will cost it roughly $10 billion. Now, Nick knows somebody here in our area that got it, and hopefully we'll have him call in sometime the next few weeks to talk about the experience of a user with that system.
Was he considered a beta that he got it, or is this the
No.
full rollout?
No, no beta, he got it. What do you mean?
No, I mean, I didn't realize I thought they were still working on their capacity to have enough coverage. They're still launching satellites so they can meet the demand. So.
I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, it's not a beta. He waited for it for a long time, and because he doesn't have. Remember, Nick was talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mentioned it to one of my customers, and I know they're on the list. They live in a very poorly served area of near Carborough. That's
a game changer. That's going to be very, very, very interesting. But it's not cheap.
What does a if you got a hotspot device, didn't use your phone, but you wanted to have a mobile hotspot from a carrier, unlimited, what would it go for?
I have no idea. I mean, it's not cheap.
I used to have
anybody in the chat, or anybody who's not in the chat but listening can call in 919-518-9773. And maybe
I used to have a Verizon USB dongle.
Yeah.
For, I guess it was 3G. Has to be 3G. That was at the time 3G was big. And I had one of those cradle point routers that had a place to plug in the dongle, and you could use it as a hotspot. It was also just a regular router, had 2 Ethernet ports and Wi-Fi built in, but you could plug in the mobile hotspot USB transceiver and it worked. The USB 3 just didn't work very well, and I downgraded the card down to one. I guess maybe I'm not saying USB 3, the G3. I don't know. I don't remember what generation it was, but the new one that was out at the time was very unreliable from Verizon. So I downgraded it to the one below the card, the actual USB, because the one they sent me didn't work. and it worked well. But I used it at trade shows when there was no. You could go to these trade shows at a small community convention center, like out in Elizabeth City or something like that, and I need a connection, and the Wi-Fi was so expensive, like hundreds of dollars. You use it for one day. I said, I'm not doing this. I can buy this other service for a lot less, and that's what I'd use just for my simple connection. But now that I have the RV, I wonder if it's not. Not that I'm saying I'm going to do this. I wondered what it would cost. That's all. I'll have to look.
That'll be interesting. Let's see. Okay, here, Alan is saying $120 a month for 1 terabyte.
You could burn through 1 terabyte pretty quick if you had a lot of streaming.
Not if you don't stream in 4K.
You stream to a 3-inch screen.
Well,
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, remember
Yeah.
here, I mean, to just give you an idea, the machine that I stream to YouTube and Twitch and some of the others, which works 24/7. Granted, it's streaming in 720p. It's on AT&T, and in a month, I use about 500 to 600 gig. So you can imagine. And besides, when you are in an RV, I mean, how many TVs do you have? One.
At least 4. At least 4.
Yeah, right.
Actually, there's hookups for 3, believe it or not. There's one in the front over the big bunk that it's on a swing arm that you can swing out and watch. And there are places for 2 more. One in the back where the bed is. It's just a jack and a power plug and a place to put it. And then on the outside, there's a little door you flip open. That's got another place to mount one on the outside.
Okay, well.
So it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going out camping at the lake to get away from that. I'm there with I mean, the biggest technology I have with me is my Kindle, so I can read a book.
Yeah, but that doesn't use much. It's not.
No, it doesn't use any.
Well,
because I have the Wi-Fi is turned off.
Oh,
Download the books.
You download them, then you read. Okay.
Yeah.
Alan is saying no one here that I know has ever gone over. I agree. A terabyte is a lot. That's from
I'm reading
it's going to be different from one carrier to the next.
Eleanor brings up a good point about what about all the space junk that's out there? They're putting, I don't know,
What, a hotspot?
by level. I'm not sure. No, we're talking about Elon Musk's launching all the
Starlink.
satellites.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the space junk issue.
Yeah.
And because there's just so much crap up there that is old, that the solution of just letting it eventually fall isn't really a good solution.
Why can't they have what's his name? A Pokemon type spacecraft that will go there and go jump, 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 jump.
But was interesting? Yeah, that would be nice. Pac-Man, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Pac-Man, not Pokemon.
I'm reading a sci-fi book which takes place in 2060, and they talk about how they have a space station in high Earth orbit, and how they had to deal with the space junk issue, that they actually had a consortium come together, different countries, that funded an effort to go around with, and they didn't say how they did it, but they did actually work on cleaning out the larger debris because of the amount of stuff that was in orbit. But
yeah, and they can
Arnie asked me if I'm going to Alaska. No, unfortunately, there's still no. Apparently, there was some new news about cruises that the restrictions are just still too high for them to be able to go. There's still there's no cruise order yet. And the land portion of it is going to be so small that they're using part-time drivers that are locals to Alaska. So there's no need for new drivers. So I'm not going this year. That's off the table.
No. I mean, if there's an outfit that can actually have the ability to go up there and clean up, I guess they can keep it. What do you call it when you go and get something from the bottom of the ocean? Sunken ships and stuff, and
Salvage.
They can salvage them and make a lot of money.
Yeah, but the cost to do it,
I understand.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just to get a 1 pound of payload into orbit to do anything. It's just, I mean, it's better now than it was, but it's still millions to get anything in orbit.
Arnie's saying that Starlink satellites have a deorbit function. Interesting.
Yeah, and I want them to drop them all on Washington.
That will be a good. Yeah. Somebody needs to hack into that.
Yeah, I meant DC, Washington, DC.
Yeah.
Washington State, no. Washington, DC, yes.
Oh, you say nobody care about Washington State?
No, I'm saying I don't want to drop them on Washington.
I want to apologize to our listeners from
Yeah,
Washington
That's
State.
right. No, there was no
What,
implication.
Spence just said.
I wasn't trying to drop satellites on you. I meant I should have been more exact in my location. Washington,
Yeah,
D.C., specifically
if something
the capital
drops
area.
on Washington State, right? We're gonna lose. There's a chance of losing both Microsoft and
Boeing?
Amazon. So,
Oh, right. Hey,
True.
well,
so what is more important, U.S. government or Washington State?
You decide.
We need a poll survey. What do you think?
Yeah,
What is more important?
that's a good question.
So, God, tell us what's going on with streaming and cord cutting. Anything?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing. Really quiet.
That's,
If any of our listeners, I have a problem that I don't have a solution for, and maybe our listeners might have something. I'm looking for subtitled Turkish TV content online. My wife, she really likes the Turkish telenovelas, and there's a source we get with Hebrew subtitles, but it's limited. And there are some shows that are newer, and I can't figure out. And because I'm guessing it's because I cannot even search in Turkish. If I could search in Google in Turkish, I'll probably find some torrent sites or something that will help me get the content, but then it won't be, even if I find it, it won't be subtitled. So I'm looking for subtitled Turkish TV dramas.
subtitled to English or to Hebrew?
Well, I'll take English. I'm not greedy.
Oh,
It's a very niche market, but apparently not a small one.
it'll be interesting if one of our
Alan
listeners
says,
can-
look up TV services offered by Group of Gold Line. I'll check that. Well, nobody I'm friendly with. Alan says if I know any Turkish merchants, not anyone that I know personally or.
Interesting.
Okay, Group of Gold Lines. They look very similar
To
IPTV. Interesting. Thanks, Alan. I'll check that out.
let's see. So nothing. Before I read this, something else. So nothing to report about streaming. No new uh techniques, new and important
Nothing.
hardware. Nothing.
So when it comes to Plex, a lot of people set up a bunch of services around Plex. The popular ones are radar and sonar.
Right. Yeah.
And if you have a bunch of people hooked up to your Plex server as friends, you can set up a request site. And so that request site is called, the most popular one, at least, I don't know if there's any other, is called Ombi. And Ombi has recently been upgraded, but this isn't like last week, this is a few months ago. Has recently been upgraded, has been completely rewritten, works a lot better, very intuitive to work, and has good, mobile support. So if you access the website on mobile, it is a lot easier to request from a Plex server manager some new content. I doubt that's something that a lot of our listeners are involved in, but if you are, check Ombi out. It's they've done
Ombi.
a complete revamp.
OMBI.
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 Yeah. I think the most important notion about cutting the cord is once you do it, you don't deal with it too much. It's nothing to report on, and I think that's part of the charm. It's not like, oh, I had to deal with this new stuff this week, and I had to deal. No, we just use it, and probably as a piece of technology, and by technology I mean that stuff that doesn't always work, right? Because if it's not technology, if it's past that, then it's already, that thing that works. Nobody calls TV technology anymore, right?
Right.
I'm talking about, because it works. It's TV. It's not like this brand new technology. People call 4K new technology, right? Because it's clunky. It's right. So for my home specifically, when it doesn't work, it's usually my fault, not the technology fault. It's just, there's an episode missing of something or something like that.
I find that the schedule that I have with the Recast TV, the online schedule, the guide, actually picks up more changes and is more up to date than the one that was on Spectrum. The Spectrum one will have a schedule out there, and you'll set, like, I'll give you an example. Blue Bloods had their season finale, which was a 2-hour special where they had 2 episodes back to back. The guide picked it up, and we recorded both. But in the Spectrum days, it would have just recorded the regular time slot, and that would have been it.
And the Recast, that's the Amazon box?
That's the Amazon box. Whatever directory they use, whatever guide they use for that system.
Right.
And because we didn't realize, we're watching this last night, we didn't pay attention to when the 2-hour series started an hour earlier. So they were 1 hour before and then the regular time slot. But we would have missed the first half if we had used just the Spectrum DVR.
Yeah, I think in Plex, when you tell it to record, it always says that any airing, it will pick up on any channel. Like if you want to record whatever, the ABC show, if it's on channel 16 and on channel 49, I mean, as long as you mark one, it will record it. And I don't think it has anything, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Gal, I don't think it records by time slot. It records by the show name. because
I think you're right.
there's that channel in Smithfield that's on the air is 34.1. There's a lot of old shows on it, and I was recording a few of them. And then you find out suddenly that on the weekend it becomes a religious station, and sometimes it goes
Okay.
into the. It doesn't record any of that. If you told it to record that particular show between 3 and 4
Well,
in the
it
afternoon,
uses the EPG, the electronic programming guide. That's the same way your DVR on Spectrum would do it. But the difference is, on Spectrum, you said record this show in this channel,
Mhm.
right? And if it shows up in another channel, it won't pick it up. But what the Plex does is it identifies the show, and it doesn't matter what channel it shows on, it'll record. I think one feature it has, I just don't use I don't use the live TV, so I might be wrong here. But if I recall correctly, it has a feature of saying only new episodes.
Yes.
So
The problem
instead
with
of
the problem with only new episodes, that doesn't mean new episodes that you don't have. It means new episodes that came out today. So if you
it's
start,
date. So from the moment you set it on.
if you say record I Dream of Jeannie, and
right.
you
That's
choose
a rerun. That's a problem.
and you choose only new episode, it will not record any of them. You have to say all episodes, and it will not duplicate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But if you delete an episode, it'll record it again.
Yes,
right?
it will. Once it gets to it, it will record it. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably needs a refinement. I wonder if somebody has ever worked on it. Like, give me a complete run, but from this episode forward, right?
Yeah.
It's like not all seasons, but just 2 last seasons or something like that, right? It's like some sort of control on what to focus on.
Yeah. The other thing that would be really nice to have in the recorder is you can tell. I mean, remember when you stream it through Plex and it comes off the air, it is delayed.
Right.
And if you
Because
say
it goes through transcoding.
right, and if you say that you want to record a show, you have the ability to say start recording a minute after the top of the hour and a minute after the top of the hour if it's an hour show. Otherwise, you're
Before
going
and
to get
after, yeah.
pieces of the previous show, and it's going to cut it before the end of the show. There's nothing less than a minute. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no way to say, I want you to go 30 seconds. I want you to start 30 seconds after the top of the hour. If you say 1 minute, you're missing some of it. And it's just things that they, I'm sure sooner or later somebody will at the Plex will probably say, we need to change that. Most people don't record off the air, so it's it's not a big deal.
No, I think actually the DVR functionality is one of the I wouldn't say highest using, but like the second or third option that they get customers for. So
Yeah,
it's a
but
big deal for Plex.
well, yeah, it would be nice if there was a way to adjust it. Of course, that's not going to solve the problem because you find out that if it starts buffering,
Okay.
it actually delays it more because you don't miss. If it starts buffering, it picks up at the same second that you started buffering. So if it buffers a lot at the end of the show, it's now delayed. It's already 8:04 and the show just ended. it keeps on building on it. So if you are recording and it's doing this, then you are going to run. There's no winning, because there's always other situations where you tell it to record and you want it to end a minute after the top of the hour, but actually the show, because it had a problem receiving it from the air, is 3 minutes before the end, and you ended it. So I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting the way that works.
I think we should offer a pay for guide service that we can just be available. Somebody puts in a request and we have to come and look it up, and then we'll come back and fix it. It's like what Cosmo Kramer had. He was the
movies,
the movie guide. Well, this time we can have a copy of TV Guide. Do they still publish TV Guide in paper?
I don't know.
Can you go to the store and buy it? I doubt it.
I don't know.
But used to have the week's TV shows.
Yeah,
regionally.
Yeah, they did it for the advertising, but I guess at this point everybody's advertising online. So, yeah.
Remember what was it? The Sunday paper used to have the TV Guide in it for the week. It was a separate insert. You open it up and it had Monday, Tuesday. It had the daytime TV, which didn't change much, and then they had the evening shows that were. Actually, I had to do some research on. Oh, how life has changed.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Very interesting.
Anything else?
So the paper TV guide, would that shift automatically when the electronic programming guide out
Of course.
Yeah, you'd be looking at the paper and it would, like, the entry would change automatically.
Probably in Harry Potter's world.
That's it.
Yeah,
the live action newspapers.
What were you drinking when you saw that, Spence? What were you on? Oh,
You discovered some mushrooms growing in the yard and decided to taste them.
All right. So I guess that's it for today.
that's it.
That's it.
I can go back to bed.
Oh, shucks.
Okay, you can stay. I will not close the stream, but we're leaving.
Oh. Wah, wah,
Wah,
wah,
wah, wah, wah. Where is it? Oh shoot!
You set it up on your board and everything.
I know. I don't
Can't
see
find
it
the
now.
button. Come on.
I don't see it. Oh, there. Yep. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Gal, Spence, and good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Donna, Dina, Arlington, Micha, Eleanor, Saeed. I hope you're sitting up there listening. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. I know Nick wasn't here today, but you can listen to Nick during the week, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. on WAAV in Wilmington. You can go to TuneIn and look for 980 WAAV. And Tuesday, Nick and Brian do the Infection podcast on Twitch for survival games. Have a great week. Enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.